So as you may or may not know, Depop is an app for selling used clothing online. And like most selling platforms, photos are used in order to advertise what you're selling. But what's unique to Depop is the fact that you can actually have videos in addition to these photos. Now, this video feature doesn't really get used a whole lot, and when it does, it kind of just looks like this. So today I wanted to create some really cool and eye-catching videos that I could use on Depop to help sell some of my clothing and see if it could even have an effect on potential sales. So most importantly, I want to make sure the videos that I make actually show off the clothing really well. So I've come up with 3 different ideas that I think would look really cool but still effectively showcase the clothes that I'm selling. So for my first idea, I wanted to create an animated sort of effect where it looks like the model is kind of like spinning in one spot, and I think this will look cool because it'll actually give like a full 360 view of the actual clothing item. So in order to achieve this, we're basically going to take a series of photos where the model changes their position slightly each time in order for it to look like she's spinning. Okay, so this is the setup for the first photo. It's really important to use a tripod because it needs to be steady and like each shot needs to be the same level or it's going to look like kind of wonky. I just put a little tape here to mark where I need to stand so that I'm centered the whole time. One person needs to model while the other person takes the photos, so Ariana's gonna help me. Also, the lighting keeps changing, so that's gonna, there's a plane going by. I'm just gonna stop. Okay, we just moved the setup over here in the shade because the sun was just being like way too inconsistent. I thought this would like look better, but basically the same idea. So I think the key here for this one is to take as many photos as possible just so that you have enough frames to make it look like a smooth video. You also want to make sure that you don't change the position of the camera at all because you want to make sure the background and everything stays exactly the same. And another key thing is you want to make sure the model is kind of rotating on the same spot, hence why I ended up putting tape on the ground so that they don't end up look like they're kind of like spinning away. They want to be spinning on the same spot, which mine kind of turned out that way even though I tried really hard to like stay on the mark. But yeah, just keep that in mind. So we're basically just taking a photo every time I moved in order to capture the full movement basically. So let's see how it ended up looking. Honestly, this one was a lot easier to execute than I thought it was going to be, and I think it ended up looking so cool. Totally doable. I mean, it takes a little bit of extra work, but it really wasn't that hard. And you could even probably do this yourself, like all alone, if you were able to connect your phone to your camera and take photos that way. So the next idea is really similar to the first one, except that the camera is going to be moving instead of the model. So I basically want it to look like we are moving in a circular motion around the model over and over and over again. So in order to achieve this, I figured the best way to do it was to create a semicircle around the model against the wall that we had. And what I did was tape a piece of string to where the model would be standing, and then I just pulled it from one side to the other, and I just placed tape along that line in order to create like a perfect semicircle. So each tape mark basically represented one photo in the position each photo would be taken in. So we started taking each photo, and the key for this one as well is that you don't want to adjust the tilt or the height of the tripod, and you don't want to zoom or change the type of lens, of course, but you do want to make sure that you're panning to recenter the shot every time to make sure the model is always in the center of the frame. And then we just repeated it for the back side of the jeans. So I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I think this one's probably my favorite. I think it looks so cool. And honestly, it was a little bit more work, but once you had everything like marked out and taped down, taking the photos like wasn't that big of a deal. It honestly went by like pretty quickly. And as you can see, in order for this to like keep transitioning seamlessly, I made sure to take a picture where it was like just the wall, and that is what allows you to transition from one side of the wall to the other and make it look like it's just like spinning over and over again. So for the last idea, I kind of wanted to just do like a really like cinematic lookbook kind of style classic video with a bunch of like slow motion shots just like cut together. So I basically just kind of freestyled it and kind of like directed Ariana a little bit on like what to do and like poses to do, and I just got a variety of like different shots showing like wides and close-ups, and then I basically just edited it all together. Now this one was a little bit more difficult in the editing process because there was a lot more creative freedom there. I could kind of do whatever I wanted with the shots, whereas the last two, it was very straightforward on how it was going to end up looking. I think this one turned out really good as well. I really like how it just has that like kind of cinematic commercial kind of vibe. And the good thing about this one is it actually gives you a chance to like show off the details by doing like a variety of different shots. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the process of uploading this video because it was kind of a mess. Originally, when I exported all 3 of the videos, I thought I was just going to be able to upload it. I did kind of test out uploading videos before, and all it was saying was that the video couldn't be longer than 30 seconds, so I just figured as long as it was short enough, then it would be totally fine to upload. So when I tried to upload them, it kept saying that the video has to be 720 pixels maximum in order to be uploaded, and I was like, okay, that's really weird. The video is definitely big enough. So I ended up exporting like tons and tons of different ones at like different lengths and different sizes and stuff that all met the requirements, and it just would not upload them. Finally, I decided to email Depop, and they said to try and shorten the video, so I tried to make it like super short, like only 2 seconds long, and that's when it was just saying video file not supported. So at that point I was like pretty frustrated because I spent so much time on these videos, and the only types of videos it was letting me upload were videos that I had shot like on my phone. And I was like, oh my god, if I have to like record the screen, I'm gonna lose it because it's gonna look like shit, right? Yeah, that was basically my last resort. Was I was literally gonna just like record my computer screen on my phone, and like even though it would look like shit, at least it was better than nothing. My last final thing I thought of was to maybe try it on an iPhone because I do have an Android, and I thought maybe that had something to do with it. So I borrowed my brother's phone, and thank God it actually worked. So that's just something that you should keep in mind, that you basically can't do this unless you have an iPhone. I even tried to do it like on the desktop version, not in the app, and it doesn't even let you upload videos there. It only lets you upload photos. I mean, if anyone has figured out a way, please let me know. I really hope that Depop fixes this. Honestly, the whole Android app compared to the iPhone one kind of just feels buggy in general. And also, one last issue that I found was the fact that you can't put the video first. Like, you can't choose where in order the video goes. It always has to go after the photos, which I thought was kind of weird. I really wish you had the option to like be able to move it to the very first thing that you see, but you can't. So I hope Depop can fix that. So I think these all turned out so good. Like, I'm actually so happy with how they all look. I think they look awesome, especially the second one. That's probably my favorite. Now, is it the most practical way to advertise your clothes on Depop? Probably not, because it takes like way more effort than just taking a few pictures and like calling it a day, which is already like hard enough. But honestly, it was really fun to make them, and hopefully this will help me like stand out against the thousands and thousands of other sellers that are selling on Depop. And it's something that I personally have never seen anyone do on Depop before. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this. Let me know which video was your favorite in the comments, and thank you for watching. Bye.